It's time for the EPAWA Daily Forecast video, a comprehensive look at what to expect in the days ahead. Here is meteorologist Bobby Marchich with your latest outlook.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. I have a lot of stuff to talk about here today in today's video. Big changes over the last 24 hours. Many of you are already aware of those changes that have heard through the grapevine or have watched them change yourself. But there's definitely changes, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. Before we get started today, our Wednesday forecast video is sponsored by the Walters & Zirinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate, with over 20 years of real estate experience, serving not only the Lehigh Valley and Poconos, but also portions of Berks, Bucks, Carbon, Monroe, and Schuylkill counties. Reach out to the Walters Zirinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate to get your up-to-the-minute local real estate forecast on inventory, market conditions, current rates, and pricing. See for yourself what Michael and Sarah can do for you and find out what sets them apart in the real estate industry. They can be reached at 610-867-8888, and they are proud sponsors of the Wednesday forecast video. So, today, we're going to have a milder day. It's going to be colder than average slightly, or maybe near average, but still cold for this time of year, just a lot warmer than it was yesterday, okay? Temperature today in the 34 to 40 degree range from northwest to southeast, and then a slight bump up here on Thursday ahead of a reinforcing cold front, okay? And it's going to give us another shot of cold air, very similar to what we just had for the past 2 days, okay? For that reason, we are partly to mostly cloudy tomorrow, but today we are mostly sunny again today. So not too bad of a day today. Wind will not be an issue either of the next 2 days, okay? So we have this reinforcing front coming through on Thursday night. It'll come through in the overnight, and then we're going to be colder on Friday, and then even colder on Saturday. Saturday's going to be a day like it was yesterday. Stuck in the teens, single-digit lows. It's going to be, actually, the single-digit lows are going to go Friday night and Saturday night, it looks like, for a lot of at least the interior areas, and then maybe getting around 10 degrees, something like that, down by Philadelphia. So it's not going to be too pleasant. This offshore low has always been modeled to stay out here and away from our region. That is not an issue. That is going to remain offshore here on Friday. So we are just mostly sunny on Friday. Okay. Saturday, we'll call it a partly cloudy day, and high pressure is going to be nosing down over the northeast United States. You're going to have a big area, expansive area of high pressure sitting over the top of this system coming in. Okay. So this is the European model I'm going to start with first. This is going to dive down into the deep south here. You got this area of snow moving across the Midwest. It's going to dive down in the plains, move down into the deep south, gather its moisture, and then head up the coast. Well, this is a big change from what we saw in yesterday's video. And if you were watching yesterday's video, you heard me talking about don't latch on to model runs. Individual leaks are going to change every 6 hours, and boy, do they change. Okay. I also said that we're following ensemble guidance more so than the operational guidance in this case, because they give you a bit of a clearer picture of what could happen, and you can call BS on some of these operational runs. Okay, and I'm still going to use them tonight to call BS on a few operational runs. So this is the European model, and we're looking at a 5-day lead time. This is the time frame for this to hit is, generally speaking, Sunday evening through at least Monday afternoon. Okay, so that's a long period of time. It's about 18 hours or so. Okay, they have this storm moving in. And depending on the track of this system, which the European model currently is the farthest east with, will determine who gets snow, who gets a mix, and who gets rain. You might have all three of those in this. So this is more of a classic nor'easter type deal. Okay, so that means those folks that in South Jersey and Delaware that benefited so much from the recent snowfall and got a season's worth of snowfall in some cases just last week. Now you're going to get back in your typical routine here, where it starts off with snow and then turns into slop and then rain. That's looking like that in this track anyway. That's what that would be. And you have a mix in between, maybe over southeast PA. Don't get excited at the exact details yet. I forget what the snow, sleet, freezing rain line is. Okay, that's not important right now. Right now we're getting track first, because if this track is further offshore and down here instead of just doing that, so the low center is right here over Atlantic City. If it's down here instead, this snow line comes down further southeast as well. So we got to figure out track first, okay? So we're not there yet. So trying to decipher where this sleet, freezing, rain, snow line is going to be is an effort of futility right now, okay? So it does have a nice interior snowstorm here on the European model. And you can see that changes to snow as the low passes and passes over Long Island. Again, this is verbatim to the earlier run of the European model, and then heads up in New England after that. If I go back to Sunday night, okay, and look where this low is at this point, okay? So actually, we're going to go 2 hours ahead because this is the comparable time. So we're ready to get hit with this. If I look at this last night, it's way down here. Way down here, just aimlessly heading out to sea. So this is one heck of a shift that we saw today, not just from the European model, but the GFS, the Canadian model. They're all doing the same thing. They are starting to recognize some of these pieces of energy they're going to play into this. And I posted this on Twitter yesterday. There's all kinds of different energy pieces the models have to sort out. Some of them were on land, some were not. Now most of them are on land. Our storm, our eventual storm, is making landfall early this morning in British Columbia. Okay, so it'll be sampled. All these pieces will be on shore. We can properly sample the high pressures, the low pressures, all these little short waves, and we'll get a better idea of speed and timing and things like that, which will change everything downstream. So there's some big changes yesterday because they're starting to recognize some of these. And I told you that just because it's showing south doesn't mean it's going to stay there. And lo and behold, here we go. Okay. So the reason, let me get to the GFS here. This rained this evening. This is the overnight run of the GFS, and it's starting to come in just like the European model, but then this low cuts right over south-central PA and heads north-northeast from that point, which means you go from snow to a mix over much of our area, and then rain, at least in the southern half of our region, okay, before this thing pulls away. Because it's taking an interior track right over the Appalachians. Well, that's probably not going to happen. One, it doesn't. Lows don't usually track coming from the south like that. Don't usually, unless this is 1993. This is not a typical track for it to go right up and over the Appalachians. It usually goes one side or the other. In this case, within the eastern side, so you wouldn't have as much of an area getting rain out of that if that were the case. Okay, but this is the operational run. This is just one run. Each operational guidance, whether it be the European model, Canadian, GFS, has their own ensemble means as well, and individual ensemble members. This is the same overnight run of the GEFS, which is the GFS ensembles. There are 30 individual runs that run. Let's basically take the GFS, same initial conditions, different set of algorithms, running an additional 30 times to get a better idea of whether or not this is correct by cutting across south central PA. Well, the ensembles have 0 of the 30 cutting across south central PA. Nothing. That same timestamp. Nothing. Okay? The mean is offshore, which is good if you're wanting snow in the interior, not a mix and slop and rain. Now you do have some of these members up here. You see these little L's on here? These are northwest leaning. So the mean is sitting right here. This is the mean, this circle in the middle. Most of these members are leaning in here. Okay, so that could present, if correct, this could present some mixing and maybe some rain issues for South Jersey, Delaware. Mixing in between and then snow northwest. So this is a classic nor'easter track. Most of these models are showing, or most of the individual ensemble members are offshore with that. The Canadian model this evening, similar idea as the GFS, cuts right over south central PA. You get a snow to a mix to a rain, and it just jumped ahead on me there. Same thing, okay? Same thing here on the Canadian model as the GFS operational. However, the ensembles are offshore. So again, ensemble means out here. The individual run is cutting across south central PA instead and going right across from there up to about Wilkes-Barre. So right now at this range, the best thing to do is just to follow the not the operational guidance, but the drastic run-to-run changes that we expect over the next 24 to 48 hours, but to follow the ensemble guidance at this point, because they're painting a much clearer picture of what's going to happen, and get a little more clustered as you get closer to what the actual low track's going to be. This will be critical in determining how much we get, who gets what, who gets rain, who gets sleet, freezing rain mixing in for a time. This is all part of a typical nor'easter setup. So we're going to just kind of follow this and see where it goes. and we'll see how this evolves. But this is not something that's going to be. Doesn't look like it's going to be something that's going to be stalling. It'll keep moving. It's just going to have heavy precip with it. That's why you're getting these heavier snow amounts. Could this be a bigger storm? Yes, absolutely. Could this be a Godzilla storm? Yes, it could be. Godzilla, by the way, is 12 inches or more of snow expected over a very large portion of our area. And if that does happen, we won't make that determination probably until Friday. Okay? Today's only Wednesday. We got a couple days to look at this yet, and that's all we're going to keep doing. We are going to discuss it in the forum privately, leading up to it, doing model analysis starting today, and we're going to continue that all the way until the storm hits, or if it doesn't. Can it still miss? Yes, that's still a possibility. Not many ensemble members think it will. There are a few leaning southeast of the mean track here, just a few. The vast majority are near or northwest of it. Okay, so we were going with probability at this point, not a deterministic outlook. A deterministic outlook would be we're putting a snow map and calling for something. We will not be doing that. Not now. Okay, so when the time comes and we're ready to do that, and we're comfortable doing that, we will certainly do so. We might send some shots fired texts on Friday, but I think our first map probably will be Saturday. If this is going to hold this current timing, which is Sunday evening or night through at least half of the day on Monday, maybe Monday afternoon, maybe even Monday evening. Okay, but that's your general time frame right now. So just keep checking back with us throughout the week, and we'll give you the updated information once we have it. If this does pull away, it looks like Monday is just remaining another seasonally cold day, and it does look like it's going to be dry here on Monday, which is right there. Okay, so this system pulls away. Monday ends up being just after this pulls away anyway. I'm sorry, not Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be just a partly cloudy day with seasonally cold temperatures. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 12th, 2022. Have a great Wednesday.